So I was surprised to find out that Liz Cheney lost her primary run. Like, really? She lost? Wow. By that much? Ooh. I'm looking outside to see if hell froze over. It's actually starting to feel that way, so maybe. Oh my goodness. So obviously it made me curious. Well, how is she taking this? Is their defeat on the horizon? Have the elites stopped their insanity? Dun dun dun. Let's watch and see.
Thank you so much. It's wonderful to see so many friends, family, especially wonderful to be here on the beautiful Meade Ranch. And thank you so much, Brad and Kate, for that wonderful introduction. We really are in God's country, and it's wonderful to welcome so many here. I want to say, first of all, a special thanks to every member of Team Cheney who is here in the audience. And to tell you, our work is far from over.
I know many of you would rather watch paint dry or grass grow, but just breathe. So she goes into, happiness. I'm glad you're all here. You guys are wonderful, blah, 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 blah. And these are the off-the-cuff remarks. Now, she does have a written speech in front of her, which is what she keeps looking at as she makes these off-the-cuff remarks. That's just the excuse she's giving herself and why she keeps looking down. There's no strength to hold her head up. I was like, oh, okay. So we're not really seeing defeat in the sense of a complete mental defeat. And why we don't see that is because she's still smiling. She's not trying to hide, other than it's kind of like somebody has knocked the wind out of you. That doesn't mean you're out of the fight. It just means you need to catch your breath. So when you say these things, she's happy to see you guys are great, blah, blah, blah. And then she has to roll down. It's like, we lost. But she can come right back up, would suggest that the fight is not over.
2 years ago, I won this primary with 73% of the vote. I could easily have done the same again. The path was clear. But it would have required that I go along with President Trump's lie about the 2020 election. It would have required that I enable his ongoing efforts to unravel our democratic system and attack the foundations of our republic. That was a path I could not and would not take. No House seat, no office in this land is more important than the principles that we are all sworn to protect. And I well understood the potential political consequences of abiding by my duty. Our republic relies upon the goodwill of all candidates for office to accept honorably the outcome of elections. And tonight, Harriet Hageman has received the most votes in this primary. She won. I called her to concede the race. This primary election is over. But now, the real work begins.
But now, the real work begins. She finishes up with a tight lip. She starts it off looking apparently towards one side because she's already shown us, if you watch the whole speech through, where the family and, notably her father are. They're completely on the opposite side. So whoever is on that side, which I'm going to assume is the campaign people or someone real close to her in campaigning, that's what she's referencing. The real work begins. Tight-lippedness. It's like, oh, okay. It would also suggest that this decree, as far as what's mentally going through her head at this moment, is not coming from her father or family in general. And then she continues that thought. It's a tight-lipped smile that gets a little bit bigger, then falls as she goes into the next part of her speech. So this is like a momentous tight lip, which obviously most of you are already talking about her running for president. And then you actually see a real, genuine smile as this goes through, and people apparently on that side obviously know what she's talking about, and continues.
Over the last several months in the January 6th hearings, the American people have watched dozens of Republicans, including the most senior officials working for President Trump in the White House, the Justice Department, and on his campaign. People who served President Trump loyally, testify that they all told him the election was not stolen or rigged and there was no massive fraud. That's why President Trump and others invent excuses, pretexts for people not to watch the hearings at all. But no citizen of this republic is a bystander. All of us have an obligation to understand what actually happened. We cannot abandon the truth and remain a free nation. To believe Donald Trump's election lies, you must believe that dozens of federal and state courts who ruled against him, including many judges he appointed, were all corrupted and biased, that all manner of crazy conspiracy theories stole our election from us, and that Donald Trump actually remains president today. As of last week, you must also believe that 30 career FBI agents who have spent their lives working to serve our country abandoned their honor and their oaths and went to Mar-a-Lago not to perform a lawful search or address a national security threat, but instead with a secret plan to plant fake incriminating documents.
On this particular part, and she does it again later, her eyes are rolling to the top of her head towards that one side of the campaign area. I was like, oh, what is going on here? Because it's more like, it's a roll. The mind is sitting there going, it's an eye roll to that. And then at the same time, it's like a knowing eye roll. It's like, okay, that's kind of odd because we don't reference anything else. So whatever is locked in her little head is in RAM. So we don't see where it's coming from. We don't see memories. We don't see doing. We don't see any of that. It's just in RAM.
In the boxes they seized. This is yet another insidious lie. Donald Trump knows that voicing these conspiracies will provoke violence and threats of violence.
And there she just did it again. Donald Trump knows this will lead to, violence and threats of violence. And that same kind of eye roll comes around and she's looking towards the campaign side again. It's like, okay. So the eye roll mentality with a knowing look. You know what it makes me think of? That was a quick eyebrow movement. Quick. And up it went. That is hidden knowledge. Is kind of like walking on a bed of nails. You tell somebody, go walk in the bed of nails. It won't hurt much. I hope you heard that. It won't hurt much. It's kind of like hers with the eyebrow movement. It's a hidden knowledge. It will be for a long time. Hidden knowledge there.
These values too.
There it goes. Exaggerated. High eyebrows. Eyeballs open wide. And I would love to sit there and know who she's looking at when she says that. Because that look right there says, I don't know, it's kind of like you're looking at the person that is about to pull a trigger. That's that look.
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.